Hi, Dr. Jones. I'm trying once again to do this, um, to do this MythBuster presentation once more. And my myth is inclusion harms kids without disabilities. That's what I'm gonna be working on. I chose this myth because of my life experience. I've never had classmates with special needs. I don't have close relatives with special needs. So, because my experience with children with special needs is very limited, I have lots of questions, and of course, probably I have lots of misconceptions regarding education of children with special needs. With everything I've been reading about inclusion, which is great, I agree. Every child has the right to have the best education they can have. And the fact that I'm a mom and I have kids and I want them to have the best education that they can have. I know many people believe that although it, included classrooms are amazing for kids with special needs, that actually the inclusive classrooms harms kids in some way. So that's what I'm going to be working on, trying to debunk this myth, because I personally believe that people can learn a lot from their differences, from the differences other people have. So, debunking the myth, I did some research and I found three literature reviews on the impact of inclusive classrooms on students without disabilities. One is from 1997, the other is from 1999, and the other is from 2009. And they are different studies, different time frames, and similar findings. The general findings of the studies, as far as academic achievement is concerned, there was no difference between children in inclusive and children in non-inclusive classrooms. Actually, in classrooms which were adapted for children with special needs, like educational adaptations, it was actually beneficial for the low achieving students. They actually took advantage of it. As far as social growth, having classmates with disabilities is extremely beneficial for children without special needs in many levels and under many circumstances. They are more accepting towards differences. They develop a better sense of self worth. They have less prejudice, and they throw less stereotypical comments than peers in non-inclusive classrooms. And many parents concerned about the time that the lessons with children with special needs and children without special needs, that kind of gets a little messed up, that the teacher has to give more attention to the students with special needs. But the studies found no difference between classes, that inclusion is what happens, and classes where inclusion doesn't happen. So the was interrupted the same way, the teacher taught the same way, so didn't have any differences. So according to my data, the data that I've read about, the myth was busted. So inclusion does not harm kids without disabilities. The damages of this myth, there are many, like it raises prejudice, creates tension among parents. Like, no parent wants their child to be harmed in any way. No parent wants their child to have trouble learning because of a classmate, and also creates a lack of sense of community in the classroom. Like, kids without special needs, they might see, oh, that kid with special needs, he doesn't belong with us, and the kid with special needs might think the same thing, like they don't belong with them because they are different. So this myth, it kind of harms many people in many ways. And my plan of action is raise awareness that inclusive classrooms do not harm kids with without special needs, and actively promote inclusion in my classroom and in my relationships. So that's the pictures that I chose. The myth that, uh, studying in a class with kids with special needs, that's very frustrating for kids without special needs, that they're bored, that they are not encouraged to learn. And that's the drawing that I choose for the reality of that learning knows no bounds, that people learn a lot with people that are different than they are. So that's it. I hope you can read this time. It's getting worse and worse as I try this. So I can give you the first jing that I did, which was awesome. So thank you very much.